The Chinese proverb says that a wise parent gives his children wings and roots to fly, roots and wings to fly. Well, somebody's grandpa called me and said, someone's father and a grandfather says that, Oshodi, you should have my son. And I said, it's all right. And then we were at it, and it was possible this morning. Very special thanks to Grandpa Olushola Osinoiki. Don't laugh, oh, don't laugh, don't laugh. Don't laugh yet. I need to deliver so that, because he's listening, I need to ensure that I am safe. And we're discussing marketing growth strategies. My team decided that this morning, is growth and strategy that we must talk about.
Yes.
And I have with me an account manager in the marketing space, helping people and businesses grow through clear strategy, meaningful service, and practical execution. He believes that his work is a form of stewardship and an opportunity to serve others well and communicate truthfully and create value that genuinely helps people. He's a Jesus boy, right? But what he does, every work that he does flows from a simple conviction that Christ is his foundation. His work has to have meaning, and growth has a direction, and life has purpose. Now, with warm signals, welcome. I have with me Olumide Osinoiki. Welcome to
Thank you. What an introduction. Thank you so much. I'm grateful to be here.
Okay. Now we're going to be talking marketing, growth, and strategies. Now, for every startup, which I'm aware that is when they're creating a product or a service, a lot of times we don't want to factor in the marketing budget.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Even
for business owners, I'm sure you've heard people calling to pitch their businesses.
I have.
Why do you think that for some reason we just feel that marketing is it needs to sell?
I think it's a misunderstanding about the business process and how the biggest companies in the world make their money. A lot of people, when they're starting out, they haven't done a business plan. So they might have a product or a service that they really believe in, but they have no idea how they're going to connect to the buyers. That part is always a hope and a prayer. But the most successful businesses start out with a clear marketing plan.
Okay.
And it's something I could talk about more if people are interested.
Go ahead, let's talk more about it, so that at least somebody listening can start to put pen to paper.
Yeah. So let's say Olade has a business idea, and he wants to sell a service as a washman. Even something as simple as that.
Laundry guy.
Lovely guy, yeah. Yeah, laundry guy. Before he even buys a shop, before he goes to get his materials, the first thing he should think about is, who will be my first client? So sometimes it's the other way around. People build a business and then they wonder, oh, who will come? Who will come and buy? Or who will come to my restaurant? But the first question should be, who will be my first client? Because once you have that in place, you have a business. Until then, you have an idea. So the typical approach would probably be, you might go and buy a shop, you have your materials, you might put a sign in front of the door, and then you wait. But if you're taking a marketing savvy approach, maybe you would start by taking flyers to everyone in your area. Assess the demand. Is there already a laundry person in this area? What are they doing that I could do differently? How can I have a new angle, a fresh angle? Okay, they're a general laundry person. Maybe I could do specialist laundry. I could do dry cleaning services that aren't offered in this area yet. And that's how marketing should be. It's assessing the market and creating demand and supplying the existing demand. I think it's the most important part of any business.
How do we land our first clients if we're assessing the market? Because sometimes we create a product, we create a service. So I'm going to use an example of one of the callers who talked about fumigation. And so there's this recent trend of snakes on socials right now, on the social media right now, where people are worried that snakes are in their houses, right? And some say fumigation will help, some say fumigation would not help. And people are worried about how to ensure that their houses are snake-free. And apologies to everybody who has phobia for snakes. How then are we going to ensure that at least the market, I have what the market needs? Do you understand?
Yeah, it's such a good question.
Yeah.
So one thing I like to always suggest to people is if you're just starting out, before you ever buy anything or set yourself down the hole with costs, you can do something called a pre-order list. So if you are let's say you're doing this fumigation thing,
Yeah.
you can go around, you can knock on doors. If you have no money to spend on flyers, you can go around, you can knock on doors. You can say, listen, I've been hearing about this fumigation thing. I offer this service. Can I talk to you for 1 minute about how my service can completely eliminate snakes, etc., etc. So, oh, okay, that's true. I've been seeing snakes. Da, da, da. Yeah. And then you have that person's number. That person is now a lead.
Okay.
But this marketing work is the hardest part of business because no one wants to be uncomfortable and put themselves out there.
No.
But it's only by putting yourself out there. Maybe you speak to 100 people and only 2 people are interested, but that's 2 clients for your business. And if you handle them well, maybe 2 clients for life. Especially because fumigation is a recurring service.
Yes.
So you always have to think about it in the context of how do I provide value to someone for the longest period of time at the lowest cost to me?
Say that again. How do I provide? I hear that. Well, say that again.
Yeah, I'll say it again. So how do I provide value to someone for the longest time possible for the lowest cost to me?
Okay.
So we live in the era of subscription services. That's how people get rich. At my company, for example, we sell search engine optimization, which is a service which allows you to rank higher on Google when people are searching on Google. That's a monthly service because it's requiring upkeep. And those services that are on a recurring basis, those are the best ways to build real wealth and start to change the situation around.
Okay. So at least something is coming in monthly.
Yes. Yes.
Where they don't
you don't have to hope. when they don't renew, yes.
You don't have money. So what do you do? Because if the person who comes to fumigate my house, I have to leave my house for like 2 days or 3 days for the smell to come down. Before I will come back to do fumigation, we'll take another once in 6 months. What will happen?
Yeah. Yes. So I think this is one of my values as well, and something I talk about a lot is the integrity part.
Okay.
So let's say that fumigation.
Yes.
They just did like an okay job. I don't know. Maybe the bugs came back within 1 month, and you're like, that wasn't very worth it.
Okay.
Let's say someone else who's more diligent. They've done the service. They've noticed, oh, you have so-and-so crack in your wall. Maybe you should seal that so that no insects can come inside. Oh, I noticed your net. Maybe you need to repair your net. Someone like that, someone that's diligent, that is another key. That's something that marketing can't solve, is providing the value that makes someone want to come back. So if you're doing that, you'll never be without a client, because there's so many people in this world who run their business half-heartedly. But if you're the type of person, especially in Lagos, wow, if you're the type of person that you do a good job properly, you won't struggle for work. You won't struggle for work. So I think that's a missing ingredient too.
Okay, so diligence in marketing, doing the job well.
Yes.
Even in Lagos, we get the job done well. Sure. Now, you describe work as stewardship. How does that shape your approach to growth, to marketing and growth?
Yeah. So in my role as the account manager, I'm the main liaison for the client. So if they have any issues, if they have any problems, I'm the one that they're going to speak to.
Hmm.
The reason that's important is, let's say you have a brilliant service. Let me use a different example. Let's say that you deliver food for an office.
Hmm.
Maybe once a month they have a social and you're the one that delivers the food for their
Hmm.
social. Okay. The food is great. Everyone loves the food, but they never know when you're coming. They never know what time you'll arrive. They never know how much food there'll be. That can cause a problem. And that communication part, even if you're on time every time, if they don't know that you're going to be on time, it can cause stress and it could make someone cancel their subscription.
Okay.
So that is what my role is in account management, is that customer service element. And it goes a long, long way. There's people who spend money with us now that are only still spending money with us because someone had a customer service conversation with them in a moment of stress. And I think that's what I see as the stewardship side of it, is looking after someone, making sure that they're okay, and yeah, having those conversations.
Now, in a place like Lagos, because you went to cause trouble, so let's talk Lagos, right? In a place like Lagos, where the demands are high, people
Yeah.
are on good days angry, people are on
Mm,
good days sad, or however
mm,
their mood is, and they're
mm,
coming and saying that, oh, they want their request, they want to be heard, even when you
mm,
have provided everything. How then do you
mm,
then
mm,
address them? Because again, I always say that we're selling ourselves to one another every day. How then is my
mm,
customer service
mm.
going to ensure, you know where I'm going to ensure that they are heard, they understood, and they want to do business with us again?
Yeah. So good. So good. There's this saying, the customer is always right.
Sometimes our
And
customers are not right to you. Well,
oh
let's
no, I've
talk.
experienced it. I've experienced it myself. I'll give you an example. I'll
Yes.
give you an example from last night at work.
Good.
We had a client. We had a client. They have a sale. They sell furniture, custom furniture in Canada. They import it from Europe. Very, very expensive stuff. So obviously a good client. However, this client is very, very, very particular. So the advertising that they sent out, they said, "Oh, can you tweak this? Can you remove that? I don't like this. What's going on? Can you explain the process to me?" Da 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 da. In the end, I was at work 3 hours later than I should have been.
Hmm.
So sometimes those situations are unavoidable because people are human.
Yes.
But one thing I always advise to resolve those things quicker is to get to the heart of the problem.
Hmm.
If somebody is complaining, if somebody is saying there's a problem, there might be an emotion underneath what they're saying. So for this client, it was anxiety,
Hmm.
because they were doing a sale and they weren't used to doing a sale with this new process because they'd previously been working with another agency. That agency had gotten them poor results.
Okay.
So I was having to explain every step of the process, um, which can be tiresome. But this is again why I talk about lifetime value. I've now calmed her nerves. Yes, it cost me 3 hours,
Hmm.
but this client is going to come back and come back and come back.
Hmm.
Now she trusts us.
Hmm.
And I think sometimes people lose sight of that when they're in a heated discussion with a client. They start to feel, oh, it's you versus me, and
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lose.
Hmm.
But if you lose twice because you lose the business as well.
Hmm.
So I think the best way to stay victorious in business is to be that steward, to be that self-sacrificial person. And it costs and it costs. And sometimes the client isn't worth it. You
Hmm.
have to make that discernment as well. But oftentimes they are.
Okay, okay. I like the way you put it. The signals on 91.3, we're discussing marketing growth strategies with Olumide Osinoiki. If you have questions, comments, send us a WhatsApp message 0809-234-5913. Now, why do you believe that consistency often beats flashy campaigns? We have
Mm.
nice billboards, we have all of the nice things, but when you come in contact with the product or the brand, uh, that's what I can say.
Yeah, no. I think everyone looks at marketing like, okay, I need to spend X amount of money for one big campaign. Let's do a big photo shoot. Let's make sure. But do you have data? That's my question to you.
Hmm.
Do you have data? So people who are starting out, they're very hopeful. They might spend all their savings on one big campaign. Let's say they're doing a new clothing brand. They put all their money into one photo shoot, just one.
Hmm.
The pictures come out and nobody else likes it. So what have you done? You've wasted an opportunity. Let's say if you had a lower budget for that shoot,
Yes.
you've done 10.
Hmm.
And the value of marketing is iteration, what I call iteration. So doing the process more than once. Because each time you do the process, you learn something. That's especially true for digital marketing, where there's AI and there's algorithms, but even for offline marketing, even for your flyers, let's say you make a flyer, nobody calls you. You realize, oh, okay, maybe I needed to restructure the offer. Maybe I needed to word it differently so they understand the value. Okay, you do it again. This time, maybe a few people call, say, oh, I noticed everyone that called me was from this area and they had this specific problem. You can now refine again, refine again, refine again. So a lot of business is to do with that is you have to go on the step-by-step journey. You can't, lots of people want to get rich quick. They want their money and they want their money now. But even my boss, I can tell you a story about him. The company is doing multiple six figures now, which is, glory to God because he's a Christian. But he started out the process by himself. Anytime a website needed to be made, he was making it. Anytime a client needed to be closed, he was the one doing the sale. Anytime that someone had to do the marketing, he was the one doing the marketing. And I think sometimes people think that, oh, okay, if I want to be a big CEO, I just have to tell other people what to do.
Mm-mm.
No, you have to learn all these skills and you have to start from the bottom and do that process because how can you lead someone in your company to do a good job if you've never done that job before?
Mm.
So I it's a bit of a tangent, but there's a link between flashy campaigns and the mindset that you're in and the mindset of consistency and trusting and this thing will grow over time if
Mm.
I keep investing. So
Okay.
I always say consistency beats the flashiness.
Now, we're discussing marketing growth strategies. What do you think about it? I'm sure that when he sent you the link, what did you think?
About what?
Marketing growth strategies, the conversation this morning.
Oh, I was so excited because people in Nigeria, I love people in Nigeria. I love my people. And I think sometimes it's not a lack of hard work, it's a lack of knowledge.
Why do you say that?
For my time living in Lagos last year, I was there for 8 months. I saw so many people with good intentions
Okay.
that maybe missed the road slightly in terms of how they could develop their business, how they could add value, how they could really build something that would outlast them. Um, and I know it's hard in Nigeria now, in Lagos. So hard. I mean, so hard. So I have a lot of empathy for people. But what my feeling is that the only way out is through. So I want to encourage people that are in the middle of struggling to build a business, in the middle of trying to make things happen. The way out is through, and there is a way through.
There's a way through. Now, you say that it's not for lack of hard work, it's lack of knowledge. Why?
Mm, mm. So let's say that client, sorry, customer service thing I was talking about.
Yeah.
That is 9 out of 10 of the businesses that I personally encountered
Yeah.
in Lagos. Customer service would have brought me back.
Okay.
It's not that you have a bad shop. It's not that you don't know how to sew clothes. It's that you don't know how to speak to customers.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure why. Maybe you can enlighten me into why. But a lot of people, when you're coming to them and saying, "Hey, I'm inquiring about this business," they almost look at you as if,
Kiloso, what are you
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Why are you disturbing me?
Why
Like,
are you disturbing me?
I thought I thought you were running a business here. I thought you wanted customers. And maybe it's because a lot of people are time wasters. Maybe that's true. But you can never judge someone by their appearance and say, oh, this one doesn't have money or this one doesn't know. You should treat everyone as a potential
Client.
lifelong customer.
Mm. Mm.
Lifelong. And I say lifelong because the people who treated me like that, those are the ones I always went back to their shop. They're the ones I always went there to cut my hair because maybe they remember my name. Maybe they greeted me outside. Small things like that.
Okay.
Small things go a long
They
way.
were intentional about you.
Very intentional. But that's also part of your marketing. That's also part of your brand. It's part of how people perceive your business. You can't treat people badly and say that you have a good business.
Yeah,
It
but you
doesn't work.
okay, so let me do something. So let me make a case of let's say somebody you met whose customer service was a bit poor,
Mm,
quite, and the person is, let me make a case for, let's say, just one person out of many, and
mm,
say that, okay, so is it that they were having a bad day, or they feel that, oh, this customer will ask and will not buy anything,
mm.
right? How then do you, because again, they're, for the better word, they're humans, and they were not just having it that particular day when Olumide came to their shop.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think a lot of these things are recoverable.
Okay.
So that happens a lot with us. Like, let's say someone has a bad experience the first time, like this client I was talking about earlier, that they had a
Yeah.
sale
Mm.
and she wasn't happy with the campaign, no matter what we did. Even if we did exactly what she said, she wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So that is sometimes unavoidable, but it's when do you give up? Because some people give up and they say, oh, this person is rude, this person is
Yeah.
okay, that's it. And um, even if you have a bad interaction with a client, that is not the end of the story. You can always call them back. You will always see them again, always have an opportunity. So I would say don't give up and have the humility to try and turn something around.
When sometimes the clients might never come back.
That's true.
Aha. So how do we strike that balance?
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yes, again, because beyond growth, marketing, and every nice things that we do, sometimes we shouldn't forget that people inside.
I completely agree with that. I
Mm.
completely agree with that. And there is a way that you can push someone that they won't come back. And you push them
Okay.
out forever. And that's why it's so important to the concept of a pipeline that you always have new potential customers that you're talking to.
Okay.
That's for any business. Even if you're the most successful business in the world, you should always have new potential customers that you're speaking to because anyone can turn around tomorrow and say,
I'm not
that's
doing
I'm not doing it again. Yeah, I'm finished. So yeah, that's one thing that's also important for any growing businesses. Even if you have one big client and they serve you well and you serve them well and everyone's happy, don't build your whole business on one client. Because if that client is to collapse tomorrow or go bankrupt or change their mind, you don't have business. So that's why marketing is a volume game as well.
Okay, but now do consumers today reward authenticity or is just overrated?
Mm. It's a good question because there's a thin line between authenticity and oversharing.
Okay.
In business, you have to put your best foot forward. So a lot of what I see sometimes is people say, "Oh, I don't have any clients. Please,
Help me, oh.
help me. We're struggling." And in that situation, the customer is only going to think, so why don't you have any clients? Because
Mm,
you're doing something bad. So authenticity is important, yes, but don't overshare your. There's something about marketing where you put your best foot forward, and I don't mean that you lie,
yeah.
but let's say what's another service that we've not done yet today?
Mm,
Okay, let's say you run a dental surgery and you've had only one or two clients a month for a long time.
how many people is going to bring their teeth for you?
Yes. And you're starting to struggle. But then a business approaches you and they say, okay, we want to sign up all our employees for a dental plan. Can you offer that?
Okay. So you're going to companies each.
Yeah. Instead of saying, of course we can help because we don't have any clients.
But you don't want to say that to a client. You don't want to own
No,
a new clients. No, you don't.
you can say, we have capacity to expand at the moment.
Oh shit.
So a lot of these things, it's not that you can't tell the truth, but it's about how you tell your truth as well, because you're trying to instill confidence in a person that's a prospect that's considering a business.
Okay, then. The signals on 91.3, we're discussing MGS, marketing growth strategies with Olumide Osinoiki. If you have questions, comments, send us a WhatsApp message 0809 234 5913, or you can send us, you can call us 0704 700 8913. Now, still on the knowledge part of businesses in Nigeria, most especially Lagos, yet you still speak around the knowledge part, the knowledge gap. Why?
Mm. So,
Because I'm asking the knowledge gap because most businesses, at least majority of businesses, want to build their business for global relevance. We have not been able to conquer locally. How then do we move to being a global relevant business?
yeah. Such a good question. I think digital marketing is the great equalizer.
Okay.
Digital marketing is the great equalizer. I say that because there are people all over this world who have money. It's not just in Nigeria. So if you can connect your service, if you can deliver a service or a product to someone somewhere in the world that has money, you can leverage digital marketing to reach them, to engage with them, to turn them from a stranger
Yeah.
to a client, a lifelong customer. I see this a lot with people who offer digital services. Let's say you're a virtual assistant. Let's say you offer digital marketing services even. The way that I see a lot of people approach that is they're looking immediately for the sale.
Mm.
So they contact people, they say, hey, this is me, this is my price. Uh, I don't know you.
Walk me through your business.
Yeah, talk me through your business. And most importantly, solve my problem. Because that's the only reason that people ever do business. So I think a lot of people come in and understandably they want to make money now, they want to make money fast. That's fine, you can do that. But the only way to do that is by solving people's problems. That is the fundamentals of what business is. That's why people go into business. Coca-Cola started making drinks because somebody wanted something cool to drink on a Friday afternoon after work. That was a problem that they were solving. And the way that people can move forward as well is making sure that they're actually solving somebody's problem, not just thinking that they're solving a problem. So, for example, a lot of people used to do this social media marketing thing. They say, "Oh, I'll post on Instagram for you. You'll have lots of clients." Da, da, da. Fine. If you're posting on social media, you have to be an expert to get hundreds, thousands, millions of views. If you're not, you're putting up flyers in an empty room. So a lot of people, they come, they say, "Look, I'll solve your social media problem." And they don't solve the problem, because the problem was not that they didn't have any social media posts. The problem was they didn't have any clients. So sometimes when you're thinking about what service you want to sell to people or what problem you want to solve, you have to make sure that you're solving a valuable problem, the right problem. Um, and a lot of Nigerians have the skills to solve some of these more important problems. Some of the best, most creative web designers, graphic designers, um, coders are people that I've met in Lagos, hardworking people that I've met in Lagos. And there's people in the UK, big secret, I'll tell you now. People in the UK don't like to work. And they're very expensive.
They don't like to
So
work and they're expensive. And here in Lagos, we have people who like to work, who are hard workers and smart workers, but then they're
exactly,
not being paid well.
exactly. And some of that is understandable because the economy in Nigeria is not good. Lots of people can't afford to pay for services the way that they should be paid for. But let's say you take your eyes to the UK. You're a web designer. I can even paint this scenario for you. And if you're a web designer listening, you should take this play by play. So in the UK, there's lots of different types of businesses, but maybe you focus on one. Maybe you focus on plumbers. In the UK, there's so many plumbers and they make a lot of money because they charge a lot of money in the UK. So you can now start going online. You can go on Google. You can literally just search plumbers in the UK. There will be hundreds of pages in Google of those businesses. If you see someone that has a bad website, all you have to do is say, "Hello, sir. Hello, ma. I I make websites for plumbers. I noticed that yours hasn't been updated in a while. Would you like to have a conversation about that?" If you send 1,000 of those messages, there will be people that reply.
From Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah, there will be people that reply if you present yourself as someone who has the capacity to solve that problem. So what I mean is you come with social proof that you've done it before. It's not your first time.
Yeah.
So testimonials is very important. You come with proof of excellence. So you can show them previous sites that you've done.
Mm-hmm.
And you have that customer service element. If you have those three things, it's only a matter of time. And people in the UK who are charging £2,000 for a website, you can charge ₦1 million. That's half. And they'll be so excited to hear from you.
Mm.
So I think that's something that um, people don't consider is if you have the time, let's say you have 2 hours every day that after work you're not doing anything. That's the time that you can spend speaking to people, getting practice, getting practice. You book your first few meetings and you understand, okay, this is how people like to be spoken to. This is the problems that they normally have. And over time, you can build something.
Hmm.
So
Now, what would if you could give one growth strategy every business should adopt today, what would it be?
I would say identify your client, know who you're talking to.
It's clients. Identifying the client sometimes can be very hard. We like to say these days, but having to narrow down the kind of client I want, you want, people need.
Mm.
Mm,
It can be very tricky. It can be tricky,
yes.
especially when you're starting out. So it's okay to go through that process several times.
Yes.
So when I was running my business, my photography business, I I had wedding clients.
Okay.
Then I had family photo clients. Then I had so many different types of clients. I had so many different types. But in the end, through practice, 3 years of doing that, I found that, wow, it's not even photography that people like hiring me for. People just like talking to me. And that's when I was like, okay. I noticed an opportunity to pivot my business and I started doing more consultancy. I started doing more what I'm doing now, account management.
Okay.
And I think sometimes the process isn't just finding your ideal client, it's finding your ideal service. Because when you do these things over time, you adapt, you grow, you find a new pocket of value that only you can provide. Um, and that's what I'd say is there's a lot to discover on a business journey. It's not like I resent people that speak about marketing as if you spend money on Google ads, you spend money on Facebook ads.
And you're expecting a customer.
Yeah, you'll be rich.
You just started.
You just started. Slow down. Make sure you know who you're talking to, what problems you're solving for them. Get that first client. Get those first 3 clients. Get that first 10 clients. Then you have an idea of a process, something that's repeatable. The best businesses that I experienced in Nigeria, they know that. CHMD was the tailor that I used.
Okay.
This tailor, he came to my house, measured me, he said, look, I can go and get these materials for you. I know where to get them. Here's some examples. Here's some other styles that I've sewn. Compare that to a tailor that would say, oh, what do you want to do?
So for the new businesses right now is getting into the details of what the customer really wants.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Before we go, somebody's asking, where do you draw the line between persuasion and manipulation?
Oh, good question.
It's not me. Somebody said that.
Persuasion. I wouldn't even say persuasion is the right word. Because if you're doing service, right? If you're really helping someone, it's not really that you have to persuade them. It's more that you're showing them your value.
Yeah.
If somebody's walking to work every day and you notice a hole in their shoe and you're a cobbler and you say, hey, sir, that hole in your shoe, you're going to catch a cold if you don't fix it. Let me just, when they say, oh, I didn't even notice. Thank you. Let's sort that out right now. A lot of the times you're trying to persuade someone to do something or manipulate someone to do something that is of no benefit to them. So that's a huge part of it, is knowing that this is 100% solving a problem for that person. And I know it's vague and it's because there's so many different types of business. But you have to make sure you're solving that problem. And that tailor, for me, he was solving the problem of convenience.
Okay.
I wanted to sew clothes, but I didn't want the inconvenience of walking around in the market
and looking for
out what's exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a big part of it. Make sure that you're providing a service that you don't have to force someone to buy.
Okay, then one more before we wrap up is, so far having experienced both worlds, here and abroad, home and abroad, this is home, right? What's the difference?
The difference is Lagos is bubbling with potential.
Okay.
It's a nation that it can only go upwards from here, from where we are. Whereas a lot of the Western world, it's not as good as it used to be. It's not as thriving as it used to be. And I draw the balance between both places because I see Nigeria as a place with endless potential. And if people would build for the future, not just for today, if people would build for the future, Nigeria will be great.
Okay. And on that note, thank you so much. Come back home and come and help businesses at home. Yeah, yes. He's listening, so I'm intentionally telling the both of you that. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to everyone who's listening. This clip would be on our YouTube YNC Communications. Have more of it. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Landing the right clients is an ongoing conversation. Thank you, Olumide Osinoiki.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
So we come your way again next week, Saturday, like we always say on Signals, Dream Again. Well, the new mantra for me for 2026 is please do stay alive. Have fun. Yes, so we have to stay alive.